All right, everybody, what's going on? Welcome to another edition of SWAC Smoke. I'm C Wells, and I got my boy DJ over here. How you doing today? I see you
Pretty
kind of
good, man.
doing your thing over there. You doing all right today?
Oh yeah, just running behind a little bit, but I'm good.
Oh man, it's all good. It's all good. I had me a good power nap, so I'm ready to go. Um, as you can tell, I'm in a bit better spirits than last week. Last week
Yeah.
was pretty rough. Um, I was I was down in the dumps, y'all. I was feeling it, man. I'm feeling a lot better this week, and I can't hide it. So, with that being said, man, we're gonna talk about this past week's games, and we're gonna talk about this upcoming week's games, and want to do a little bit of I like to call it a roundtable now discussion about coaches. We already had one coach get the axe. There's a couple more that may get the axe. We had a little hot seat talk already, but kind of stick with the theme. A couple other things with coaches. Before we get started, I do want to say, rest in peace. Shout out to Coach Lafayette Stribling from Mississippi Valley. He passed away this week. I don't know if any of y'all familiar with him, but he was one of the best dressed coaches I ever seen. Man, dude used to coach in three-piece suits, green, yellow, red, blue, whatever you name it, man. He was sharp. If y'all know Alvin Wyatt from Bethune Cookman, he was that guy on the basketball court. He was just totally sharp. So I just want to give him a little recipe shout out. You familiar with him, DJ?
No, I saw it earlier, so I kind of read about him a little bit earlier today, but I wasn't before today.
And he was like I said, he was a super coach, man, at Valley. And he won a lot, but he was known for his style of dress. So I just wanted to shout him out. And we got a comment already, man. This I don't know if you familiar with this story. Somebody gonna get embarrassed from Coach Pete Richardson. Have you heard that story, DJ?
No, I haven't.
All right, well, SWAC fan, I got to share this real quick before we get started. 1999 Southern FAMU top five matchup in the nation. Southern was undefeated. I think they were number three. I think FAMU was a top five team. They also were undefeated. Um, this was, like I say, internet was in its infancy.
Yeah.
The SWAC page, now known as HBCU Sports, they there was a lot of trash talk back and forth. MEAC fans, they had they page, a lot of trash talk back and forth, and I don't know if Coach Pete Richardson read it himself or if somebody told him about it, but he went in the newspaper the week of the game and he said that somebody was gonna get embarrassed with all the trash talk, and lo and behold, we got embarrassed that Saturday by a tune of 65-18.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that close. Um, it was just an ugly game, but that was just they started calling him Internet Pete after a while because he probably should not have said anything, but he did, and it led to a really brutal beating from the Rattlers. So um, yeah, that's where we stand on that. So I had to share that little history lesson, man. That game.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't go to that game, thank God. When I turned the radio on, the score was 28-0 in like the second quarter, so it was never close.
Well, hopefully we don't have a repeat of that.
Oh, please no. I'm not trying to leave this game early, so it was rough, but hopefully we can come out and play a little bit better and make this a good game.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the recap before we get into this upcoming week's game. So Pine Bluff, Texas Southern, Andrew Body. Uh, they just dominated the game, all phases actually. They put a complete game together.
Yeah, this was the best defensive effort Texas Southern had, other than that North American game. But the defense played well, and hey, this is the Andrew Body show now. So the Texas Southern's offense was rolling, 59 points. I couldn't believe that number myself. I think they're playing some good football right now. They're gonna be tough for these last few games. I'm really impressed with the way they're playing right now. So as usual, man, I got to say, Los J, you told me weeks ago, man, and it's starting to come true. I'm starting to believe.
We'll get into them a little bit more for this week's predictions. A&M versus Bama State Magic City Classic. We both pick A&M. That game, to me, I believe came down. I didn't watch the whole game. I kind of was in and out, but looked like Bama State was 1-2, one of two fourth down conversions, and they had a turnover. That looks like that's what the game came down to. Statistically, they looked about even everywhere else, but I think maybe not converting on that fourth, and then that turnover really shifted things for them.
Yeah, I think like I said, I didn't have a chance to watch this game at all, but I did, look at the stats and everything. I think it kind of went like you expect. Alabama A&M seemed like they played a better defensive effort this week. Alabama State, they got a lot of issues as we know now, but they really couldn't stop the passing attack from A&M. I think this was probably the best game that they played in a few weeks. So this was a good game for them, bad game for the Hornets.
Well, the crazy part, just for me looking at it statistically, Nettles played, which I'm not a huge Nettles fan, but I mean 243, 3 TDs, and then Ezra Gray finally got 91 yards in a TD. So to me, they played better than they have played offensively. But
Yeah,
I just think that those mistakes or those miscues on that fourth down and that interception he threw, I think that kind of made a difference because it was close for a very long time.
yeah. I think like I say, it's one of those kind of games where anything can happen. I think Alabama State, they were fired up. I think they were ready. Like you said, just they had a good running attack going this week, but they just the turnovers did them in at the end.
Yeah. All right. FAMU Grambling. FAMU all day. Surprised that I didn't see Noah Bowden, but I mean, I guess they're going to redshirt him. Might as well, I guess, because this season is a wash for them. But I mean, they're just going to, I think they're going to keep getting embarrassed, man. The quarterback play they got, their offensive play, period, is just not up to par whatsoever.
Yeah, and if you look at the offensive play when Biden has played, and yes, he's made some mistakes as a young quarterback, but when he's played, the offense has looked a whole lot better than when Elijah Walker and
Yeah.
what's his
Clark.
Alden Clark. When those two guys are playing quarterback, the offense just doesn't go. That just doesn't go well. So like you said, maybe a good idea to redshirt Biden for the future. But I think if you wanted to win some games, I think he's the key. And they just got demolished by FAMU. And I saw they had a couple of fights or skirmishes or whatever you want to call it. They really showed out in this game and lost. So that's not a good look at all. If you're gonna fight, you need to win. And if you're gonna lose and fight, you need to score more than 3 points. And they did neither. So
yeah.
Let me touch on this real quick. You can touch on this too. You think Fobbs is on the hot seat?
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think a lot of people want him gone, but if you look at his track record before the spring and this year, he has not had a losing season. And when you look at what he inherited when he got to Grambling, that was the year that the team boycotted and everything. He took over that team and went 7-5 his first year there and 2 SWAC championships. So I think if he does this again, then maybe you can look to get him out of there. But right now, I think it's still. I think he's still safe.
Yeah, it may be warming up just a tad bit, just a little warm, but I mean it ain't close to hot.
Now if 49-7 happened in New Orleans, then yes, his seat would be scorching.
Or if he loses bad next week.
Oh,
he can't drop that one.
if he loses all next week, then it might be some trouble.
Yeah. All right. I see we had a comment about Valley already. The JSU Valley game. I mean, Valley played as good as most teams have played against Jackson State this year. I think that I told people before this season started, it's like they are on the brink. I don't know. Maybe they're a quarterback away. I don't know, but it's like they are almost there, and they're gonna put up a fight every week, but they just can't get over that hump.
Yeah, I think they're a quarterback away. Um, Jelani Easton had 4 interceptions in this game, and also a fumble that Jackson State returned for a touchdown. So that's 5 turnovers that he accounted for himself. And when you do that against a team like JSU, you really shoot yourself in the foot, and that really hurt a good effort by Caleb Johnson, um, top back in the SWAC that don't nobody really know about. He had 112 yards, I think, against Jackson State, first 100-yard rusher this season from Valley. So that tells you how he ran that ball, basically with no help. So I think they're turning that corner. They get into that corner and they turning it, and they're gonna be dangerous. But I don't know if they're gonna be able to hold on to Coach Dancy if somebody come calling. That's gonna be the key to me.
Also, that and with all the other things that's going on in the SWAC, coaching changes, even Tennessee State, I think those moves impact Valley, maybe not in the most positive way. I think that the athletes out there now, they have to understand that they're a few pieces away. I mean, hold on, buy in, don't jump ship. You know, a lot of times in today's world of sports, everybody jump ship to the most glamorous looking thing. But I think if they can get a few more people to buy in to Valley and really commit, I think they make some noise.
Yeah, and they, like I said, I think they just really a quarterback away. They play hard on defense. They can't really attack because Easton he doesn't have the best arm, so they do a lot of screens and slants and things like that. They don't throw deep. If they had a quarterback that could challenge the defense, that might open it up a little bit too. And in the words of the great Dennis Green, as SWAC fans said, they had them on the hook and they let them go. So
Yeah.
they were who they thought they were.
One more question about them. Do you think by them losing the way they're losing, like almost heartbreaking is not really just like, oh, we can't compete. We just expect to get beat. But do you think that's going to wear on that team? Do you think what I mentioned just a minute ago, you think people are going to start kind of finding their way out of there and things like that? Or do you think they're going to stick together?
Um, 3 or 4 years ago, I would say a team losing close like this would stick together because you right there. Yes, it's frustrating, but you right there, and you know that the light is at the end of the tunnel. But with the portal and everything, man, dudes really want to, like you said, they want that brighter future, greener pasture. I could see some guys leaving if that happened, but I think Coach Dancy is building a culture that's good enough that's gonna hold them. So I think they're gonna buy in and come back and be really dangerous next year.
I hope so. All right, so we're gonna finally get to your game, Alcorn Southern. I mean, I'm just happy Southern won. You saw what from beginning to end.
Yeah, I was there, so I saw it all. I loved it.
What do you think about it?
Um, Defense still needs some work. The opening drive Alcorn had, they marched up the field really easy, but the secondary forced a fumble, and Southern was able to drive and score. And after that, it was like a back and forth affair. Southern got a couple stops early. Alcorn got a couple stops early, but after that, neither team really got a stop. That goal line stand by Southern in the fourth quarter, that was huge. I really was impressed with that. I thought they, like they said, they bowled their backs and they really played aggressively down there and didn't let anything happen. Offense, I got, you can't really take a lot of chances down there, but if they could have picked up a first down or two, Alcorn probably doesn't score that last touchdown. So it was an entertaining game, and I was sitting there, really not knowing if we was gonna win because it's been so long since we beat Alcorn, but I really enjoyed it. Luke Jackson probably can do whatever he wants in the city right now, man. The kid got a very, very good leg. He's hitting from 50 plus in warm-ups. So that's a weapon that can be here in the future. So I I don't have a lot of lot to really say compared to last week. When you win, it's so much easier to approach. I think the team now has to try to focus on building on this because Southern has been win loss all year. So I thought they came out and played well. Alcorn was very game, man. Felix Harper did work. He was a guy they couldn't get him on the ground. Nico Duffy, also CJ Bowler, two catches, two touchdowns. Um, I think the team just needs to focus. Like execution is like this comment said, execution is the key. Defensively, they are good, but they just missing tackles. I think they're missing a couple pieces, obviously injuries, but I thought it was a very good game. So I thought it was a good response to the Prairie View game, and at least giving the fans something to probably hopefully get more people back into the stadium. So I thought it was a very good outing.
I'll end with this. I got to be biased for a second, but Skelton is averaging a touchdown every probably 4 to 6 touches. I think that's important to note.
Yeah,
Every 4 to 6 touches, he averaging a touchdown.
It's a shame, man. I'm sitting there watching the game, and I'm like, man, DJ gonna say that they ain't using Skelton enough. I was waiting for it, and they're still not really putting him out there. He's a short yardage back now. It's
Yeah.
I wish they would use him more.
Yeah.
In the middle of the field. He's doing good in the return game. He's picking up really solid return yardage. I think he might have been the reason why Alcorn had that short kick because he came close to breaking 2 or 3. So I really keep thinking week in and week out that this is gonna be the week that he gets to play it more. But like you said, he's making positive plays when he's on the field, so you can't knock that. But Bubba had a huge game, so this was the best offensive game I saw, probably even better than the Pine Bluff game because this was a more balanced attack. So I was impressed with the way things go. So hopefully this week Skelton could get a little bit more playing time.
Yeah, y'all. This week you're gonna need it. You're gonna need everything you can.
Gonna need it
pull out.
all.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I got a beef with my boy. He say next week is on, so I'm ready, man. I love Southern Jackson State week. I don't call it the Boombox Classic, so I'll beef with you, man. Let's get it. Let's get it after Saturday, Sunday. We can start the beef. So hey, y'all keep your eyes open for that.
All right, we'll roll through next week, or this week. Alcorn State, Bethune-Cookman. Alcorn all the way to Bethune. Show me something different.
Yeah, before the season, I thought this was a game Alcorn could lose. Now I don't see any way they lose. I think Coach McNair gonna have them, ready to go. Coming off of this last game. And I think what the mistakes they made, they're not going to make this week. Like you said, until Bethune-Cookman shows otherwise, it's hard to pick them to win. So I think they're going to march down. I think they're going to march towards a winless season.
All right. Coach J. All right.
He getting his talk in.
Yeah, we finna let him talk right now. Tennessee State, Jackson State. I think, of course, Jackson State is going to win it. But I do think, however, if Jackson State lets them hang around, I think it'll be a shootout. I think it could be a shootout. If they don't rattle Body early, which I think they're going to come after him tough. If they don't rattle him early, I think this game could potentially be a shootout.
Yeah. Can you address this comment real quick? About you wearing the blue?
I ain't know. Hey, I'm neutral. I'm a SWAC fan. So
We converting him though, y'all. I'm slowly pulling him over. So if y'all remember the week he had that Southern hat on, so he getting there. But as far as this game goes, I think Texas Southern is gonna do a little something on offense. I just don't. And me and Los J, we talked about this last night. Um, that Texas Southern defense scares the hell out of me. They like I said, they played a good game against Pine Bluff, but I just don't know if they're gonna be able to do that against Jackson. But it's I think it could be a potential shootout if they play not focused. I think um I think Texas Southern could give them a run, but I think Jackson gonna win it.
I mean, do you feel like TSU can give them a better game than Valley?
Yeah, offensively, I definitely do. I think they secondary gonna get challenged because unlike Valley, Texas Southern's going to throw deep down the field, and they have three good receivers. They have a good running back, and Body can run the ball as well. So
Yeah.
you're gonna have to play. You're gonna have to pay attention to everybody on that field. So if they can get a lead like Valley did, then Jackson, they're gonna be in trouble. So this is a sneaky game, man. This
Right.
this is a trap game. I know Southern not doing so well, but that's still a big game. So that's lurking. Texas Southern has already proven that if you don't play all out, they can beat you. So this could be, I'm gonna say, an upset alert, although not really because I think Jackson State gonna win it fairly comfortably. But they can cause some trouble if Jackson State plays down.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the way I've seen JSU start against Bethune Cookman, where they started against Alabama State, where they played against Valley. I definitely think it's opportunity there. Now you have to capitalize and take advantage when you get it, but it's definitely one of those trap games, in my opinion. And we move on to Mississippi Valley, Alabama A&M. I still got to take A&M in this one. Although Valley defense, I think will play pretty good. I just don't think their offense is going to score enough to hold.
Yeah, I think if this game could go one or two ways. If A&M's offense, especially if they can run the ball, then the passing game is gonna be there. And then Valley's going to be in trouble because those weapons that A&M has, they hard to stop. Hilaire, number one in the league in receiving yards per game. Ibrahim is third in that stat. So those are two guys that doesn't account for D. Anderson, 6'5", I think. He has 8 touchdowns this year, pretty much all in the red zone. So that's a weapon for Valley to look out for. But if Valley can attack A&M's defense with their run game, they may be able to keep it close. If they can get a turnover or two, they may can find themselves in the game. But I think Bulldogs are gonna take this one.
All right. Prairie View, Alabama State. I'm going Prairie View. Uh, Alabama State just haven't been consistent enough on offense for me this year to pick them over PV. Although I don't think PV, I don't know. I got mixed feelings against them. I don't really think they're as strong as their record says, but I don't think Bama State has enough to beat them.
I think Prairie View is one of those kind of teams that if you can match them, then you have a good chance because they run the ball well and they throw the ball well, but they can be attacked. Bethune Cookman showed that you can run on them. So that's a possibility. But Alabama State, I don't know where their head is this week. Since the coach got fired, yeah, it's homecoming at Prairie View, so I think they'll be ready. So I like Prairie View in this one.
All right, Grambling State, UAPB. Man, I honestly don't know who to take in this game. It's almost like the toilet bowl. I kind of really want to pick UAPB because I think that they may be able to put something together offensively. And I don't think Gremlin, they just ain't got it. I don't know who to pick, man. I wish it was just a draw, but I'm gonna go Gremlin just just because they Grambling, just because of the history and Broderick Fobbs. I'm gonna pick them just on the strength of that.
Like you say, this is tough, man. This is oh man, this is like the pillow fight of the week. I talent for talent, I think Pine Bluff still has a better team, but I don't even know if they are actually playing football this year. After that Texas Southern game, I don't even know if maybe they packed it in. Maybe they're gonna show some heart and come out and win. But Grambling's defense, I think, can hold Pine Bluff's offense down. Grambling, if they can find a couple touchdowns, I think they win. Whoever loses this game, their coach is going to be in trouble. Let me just say that. I don't think either one of them will be fired if they lose this game. But Doc Gamble needs a win in the worst way. But I just don't think his team is. I don't even think they're there anymore. So I think Grambling wins by default.
I'm still not even sold on my pick.
I'm not, I mean, I wish this was a game where they didn't have overtime anymore. Because I think this game would be like a 10-10 tie. Because I just don't think either team is there. They both playing through the string, they both playing out the schedule, and neither one of them showed any life last week. So I don't know. We'll see.
All right, the game of the week, FAMU Southern. I think I'm gonna go FAMU, man. Although, I think this game could go either way too. If Southern played the way they played this past week, it could go either way. But Southern has been a little inconsistent too. FAMU hasn't been dominant on both sides of the ball, but they've consistently done what they do. McKay has managed the game consistently. He hasn't blown it out, but he does what he does every week. The defense plays pretty decent every week. So I'm gonna ride with FAMU, but I'm hopeful for a Southern upset.
First, let me this comment. The Classic will be worth it if Grambling is started because I take a win over Grambling anyway. I like when they're not good. That makes it even better to beat them. But I'm gonna go Southern in this game. On my show I picked FAMU, but I picked them in a close game. But I think that Southern has a chance because road FAMU and home FAMU have been two different teams. On the road, Alabama A&M hit them for like 30 points, I think it was. Valley scored 28 in the Urbana. So whatever they do at home, it doesn't really carry over away from Tallahassee. So I'm hoping that Southern offense can play like they did last week, control the clock, and score. You have to score. I think Southern's defense, if they can get a couple stops, maybe get some pressure on McKay, they can force a turnover or so and keep themselves in the game. So I think it's gonna be a close game. I think Southern will find a way to win, and that will make it better for me. But I think it's gonna be a very, very physical game. Here's a useless stat that's very deceiving. Southern has not beaten FAMU in Baton Rouge since 1996, but we haven't played them in Baton Rouge since I think 2008. So that's the deceiving stat. But Southern should hopefully pick up a victory over FAMU. I think it's gonna be a close game.
I see Los J say if Southern run for 250, but I can't see them running for 250. They can, but I just don't see it happening right now. But
if Southern run for 250, they win it by at least 2 scores.
Yeah,
FAMU's defense is that good that if Southern can gash them on the ground, the offense not going to be able to keep up. So if Southern gets those backs going, Sims is back. He had a good game against Alcorn. Dylan got banged up, but I think he's going to be ready to go. If they can run the ball like that, then yeah, FAMU's going to be in a tough night for them. But I think it's going to be a really close game. It should be an exciting game, man. I love when these two teams play, and it's always, something always happens. So I'm expecting a really good game this weekend.
Well, go Jags, man. That's all I can say. And just remind Coach Rollins, every 4 to 7 touches, Skelton scored a touchdown. Just make sure you whisper that to his ear.
I think I'm gonna make a sign and bring it to the game.
Yeah,
When they come on the field, they can see, they can turn around and see me. So
yeah,
I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna stand by the tunnel when they run out on the field, and I'm gonna tell him, man, Skelton needs to touch the ball every 4 to 7 plays. So get the ball in his hands, and I'm gonna make sure he knows I didn't say 47. I
yeah.
said 4-2-7 because he plays like 3 or 4 plays in a 60 play game. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
make sure I let him know. I'm gonna stand there and tell him. I'm gonna definitely yell down there, so he'll know.
All right. I'll let you take it from here. You say you
All
want
right,
to talk about some coaches.
all right. We got one comment here real
You
quick.
want to win, put Skelton in. Facts.
Hey, we need to make that a slogan. So y'all know if you want to win, put Skelton in. So everybody, let's chant that at the game.
I think you're gonna need him down the stretch, man. And all seriousness, I think you're gonna need all those pieces to beat FAMU. You're gonna need those pieces to beat Jackson. Because I'm hoping y'all can knock Jackson off. I'm hoping and praying y'all can knock them off. I think you got the talent, but you got to play up to it.
I'm definitely praying on that one. 9 is a good number for me, so hopefully we can get number 9 in a row over them. But we'll cross that bridge in a week.
Right.
But I did want to kind of talk about this week. Just coaches. Like I said, Coach Hill-Eley got the axe. I personally think he got fired Saturday after the game because he went 1-4 against A&M in the Magic City Classic. 2 losses in 1 year. I mean, yeah, that's a odd, because the spring is odd, but still, 2 losses to your rival in 1 year. No wins over them, no division. Really never been in a division hunt. He started 5-0 when he took over the job from Brian Jenkins, and the team has never been that good since. And it was just time for him to go. But we've talked about coaches on the hot seat. We talked about Fobbs. I think Sims at Bethune-Cookman. I don't think he's on the hot seat because their financial situation. I just don't know really if they can fire him right now. We know Rollins. As far as I know, people to me have already said he's gone. My sister texted me right after the game when we were celebrating that game-winning field goal that Rollins still need to be fired. So that tells you how the mentality of the people in Baton Rouge is right now. Even a win over a team that you hadn't beat in years, they want him gone. So I think he's gonna be gone at the end of the season. And I think that's about it as far as coaches on the hot seat. Doc Gamble, I think he's safe right now, I guess. But I do think Connell Manor needs to make some coaching changes on his staff.
I think Gamble, man. I think I don't know what the money situation looked like, but actually he may be safe due to just a lack of probably potential candidates, but I think he probably need to be gone, honestly.
Cedric Thomas, he don't got a job, do he?
I don't think so. I know he went to Southern Miss. So he's one that should have stayed. He had him actually turning around. But
I know. So maybe he can come back if he's willing to come back. Let me answer this question here. Is this team, Los J, one thing that this is not his his recruiting class or whatever, but this team had 50 plus guys with at least 4 years experience. So this team was supposed to be a contender in the division. A lot of people thought a championship team. I didn't think Southern was that caliber this year, but if you know Southern, expectations are always high. So when they named him as an interim and not a head coach, he was already kind of on thin ice. But I think that fair is not right for him. Nobody's being really. I don't know what's fair for Rollins, but he hadn't really ingratiated himself with the people. He made some really bad decisions. So I think it's not really fair, but I think that's what it is. So if he can win these last 3 games, maybe they bring him back, maybe they don't. But I think he kind of got the short end of the stick, but that's what it is. We got another person in agreement. Somebody call Cedric Thomas right now, man. He can coach Saturday and
Right.
probably win. So if y'all, hey, call him. I know he's sitting at home, so call him. I thought he was doing a good job with that team, honestly. So hopefully, if not him, what about Monty Coleman?
No, sir. No, sir. Don't go backwards. We trying to go forward, man.
I'm just throwing out a name.
Nah, you throw that one in the trash.
What about what Coach Hardman? Is he still around?
Come on, man. Lee Hardman.
Yeah.
You got plenty of jokes today.
Oh yeah, I got the clown, man. I got to have a little fun.
I do want to ask Los J something, man, with Texas Southern. How are the fans reacting to this team right now? Is it because we talked about them not having support down there, being a commuter school and this and that? How's the fan base, liking this team? How they liking the coach? Are they supporting the team? What does the outlook look like in the next year or two? Give them a chance to answer.
Yeah, I know from what I've seen that the base is picking up. I think a lot of people are really starting to kind of buy in. People love excitement. The offense is doing well, so I think that helps. I think I know a lot of people really can see them winning in the future. I know I do. So I think that they're gonna pick up the slack. I think the fans are gonna be there. I would love to see them turn out better. But that's to come. I know they really a basketball school, so they probably don't really want to spend too much money going to football. But here's the answer.
Still no support, really, but people are seeing it's changing. Man, that sucks, man. I hate that.
Yeah, like Texas Southern is one of those teams that I never had any ill will against. They're not really a rival, but it hurt to lose to them. But I've always watched Texas Southern play over the years, and I just never could understand why they weren't, better. But a guy like Andrew Body can energize a fan base. So if they can win a couple more games in this season and go into the season with a little bit more positive momentum, people may start to come out. It's probably going to take a little bit of time. And like you said, and Los J just said, it's a commuter school, so you don't have that built-in base. But I think, if they can continue that upward trend, I think that people will start to buy in. So hopefully, people recognize and respect the job Coach McKinney is doing, because, man, he is doing a hell of a job with a really, really young team. And, he's working hard and building. So I think people really need to, respect the job that he's doing.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I just know how important it is when it comes to continuing to grow, continuing to get better, recruiting. You know what I mean? Like support. And to me, recruiting go hand in hand. You bring a recruit to a game, nobody's there. Atmosphere is whack. They're not likely to want to commit unless they're one of those kids that's their only choice. And you don't want a whole lot of them on your team. You want some guys to commit, that has other options, but they really want to be in your program versus, man, this only offer I got, Yeah,
you really don't want to be a last chance you type of deal. Like, man, I ain't got no offers. I'm 5'9", 200-pound offensive tackle. I need someone to play because I don't want to stop playing at the high school. You don't want to be that kind of team. So, getting that young talent in and hopefully, getting in the portal and getting a couple guys who may be from the area and that can help. And this comment here said, if they can get people to come out, if the opposing fans can come out, that might energize people to come out. It's gonna take a lot of work to get this done. So, they are starting to build, man. Coach McKinney is a Houston guy, so I think he's gonna do his best, and I think they're gonna, eventually they're gonna get there. But hopefully, people will see it through and realize that it's gonna be a bumpy road. if they finish 4-7 this year, they may finish 4-7 again next year. I'm not predicting that. I'm just saying. So don't jump off the bandwagon if the team doesn't go from 4-7 to 10-1. You see this through, and it could work out for you.
Well, that's about all I got, man. I wish them the best of luck this week. I hope they can play really well and really show what they really have and show that they're on the rise. So this is the best week to show it. Right now, they're playing the best team in the SWAC.
And all eyes will be there. One thing I do want to say before we get out of here, I'm sure you saw the news about TCU putting Deion on. I always say that Coach Sanders on their list for candidates. Do you think he got a realistic shot at that job?
A realistic shot, yeah. Do I think he would likely go? No. And the reason I think he may have a shot, just generally speaking, I mean, I think they feel like he knows Texas since he was there coaching high school and lived there. His kids went to school there. I think they probably got a feel that he knows Texas, but I don't think he's gonna go. But yeah, I think he definitely got a chance right now.
Yeah, I think he's a legit candidate. I think some people are saying, like, oh, they just putting his name in there just to put it in there. This is TCU. They don't have to put anybody's name in anything because TCU is not a major program. So really, the majority of America is not going to be interested in this coaching search. So, putting Deion Sanders' name in there will, drive some attention. But I do think he is a legitimate candidate, mainly because his recruiting skill and the connections he has to Texas. Like you said, I don't think he would ever take the job, especially not after 1 year. After a couple years, he may look to leave, but right now, I think I think nobody needs to worry about him leaving Jackson right now, especially in the middle of the season is still going on, so he's not going anywhere. He want to see the season through, but TCU is a program that went from a playoff team to they were a near playoff team in 2014, and now they're struggling. So I think it's going to be a tough job for somebody, and I don't think he wants that right now. So I think if he was to leave for a Power 5 job, it's going to be a better school. So I just wanted to throw that out and see how you felt because that's been picking up some steam, and you got some people thinking he's going to leave, and some people don't think it's true that he's on the list of candidates. He may not even get an interview. We don't know. But, it was just, something. I always like to cover anything that kind of pops up in the last day or two. So I just wanted to see how you felt about that.
Right. Yeah, I think it's just information out there. I mean, nobody really knows at the end of the day. People just they see one piece of information, they just go crazy. But if he's not interested, he's not interested. I can put your name down and say you're a candidate for something. You know what I'm saying? Never even talk to you.
So somebody put me on a list. I interview well, so I have tremendous Madden skills. I run 4 verts all day on Madden. I think that might help me get a job. So if y'all need a coach, holler at your boy. Let me address this comment before we get out of here. I do think when his sons go, he may be gone. I know they said his daughter is interested in going to Jackson State, so that may change his stay a little bit. But I know I really think when his kids are about gone, I think he's gonna look for a new challenge. So we'll see how that goes. But as far as anything else today, I don't have anything. Anything else?
One more thing, real quick. I know we're running a little over, but what's your honest opinion about this? I personally feel like Deion will be a better athletic director than he is a coach in the SWAC.
I don't like when you ask me honest opinion questions because they are very hard, man. You never ask me an easy question when you want my honest opinion. But I was actually having this conversation at work today. As crazy as that sounds, and the guy I was talking to, he said that he thought Deion would make a good commissioner. Now Commissioner McClellan is doing a good job, but with the connections that Deion has, with the energy that he has, the media team, and the vision, I do think that if he doesn't go anywhere else to coach, I could see him taking a position like that, almost an ambassador, because I think I really feel he does have the best interest in the league in mind, and he does have some good ideas. But the only real way that those ideas can really take place is if he's able to put hands on that stuff. He can't put hands on everything coaching Jackson State. So until we either get a bunch of people that feel the way he feels, I think that it would take him being in that kind of position to put his hands on things and mold them the way that he wants.
All right. I'm going to let it ride on that then.
So we're going to get on up out of here, y'all. If y'all going to the game, man, y'all, I always say, I get this from my mama. She's always be like, be careful whenever you leave. So I hated that growing up, but, I'm the same now. Y'all be careful when y'all out there, man. If you come to Baton Rouge, bring a jacket. It's going to be kind of cool this weekend. Hopefully we have a good game. We'll be back on Thursday to talk about all of this and any other things that come up during the week. So with that being said, I'm Steve Wells, and this is DJ. We're going to hop on up out of here, man. Y'all enjoy y'all day.
All right.